Hello everyone! In today's class, we're going to deal with reading comprehension exercises about everyday life. We're going to deal with pre, while, and after reading exercises. Now, before you read the text, in spite of what kind of text is it, and despite the task you're going to complete, please bear in mind that the title and the subtitle is very important. They always give you a better idea of what the text will be about. And in this case, the title of the reading part is, Where did you get that dress? Now, what do you think it will be about? Then, during the text, you're going to deal with new words. And try to think of their meaning while I read them. Bargain, memorabilia, plain, flowing, talking point, to get caught in a storm. Remember that in any kind of text, you will have to deal with new words or phrases, but not all of them are important for the meaning of the task. Now, this kind of text is a gap text. 8 sentences have been removed from it. Choose from the sentences A to I, the one that fits each space. There is one extra sentence that you do not need to use. Now, let's read the part together. Where did you get that dress? As a young child, Gwen Crowley would often borrow her older sister's clothes and dress up as a princess or an actress. Gwen, 34, still likes to put on other people's clothes. Only now, the blouses and dresses she wears used to belong to famous film stars. She also buys clothes from celebrities, such as Cher, in order to sell them in second-hand clothes shop, Star Wears in Los Angeles. Now, Cher tends to get rid of a lot of her things each year, and we just go over with the truck and pick them up. I've met her a few times, although I've never been wearing any of her clothes at the time. As you see, the first one has been done as an example. However, let's move on with the text, and in the end, you will try to find which of these sentences best fits each part. I love Cher's style. I have her shoes, her jewelry, and even some of her furniture. They're a real bargain because I pay less for them than she did originally. Many of my customers don't wear the clothes they buy and just keep them as memorabilia. I also had the denim shirt which I bought from Mel Gibson. I wore it all the time, even when I was decorating the house. I really liked that shirt, and it was great fun telling people which famous person owned it before. My first ever purchase was a white t-shirt of Cher's that had peace signs all over it, and which I wore until it fell to pieces. But my favorite item of clothing at the moment is a black shirt of hers by Ghost. I'm a little bigger than her, so her clothes are often quite tight on me. It's a plain flowing shirt that feels really nice to wear, except when it's raining. The shirt shrank, and the sleeves, which were long, suddenly went up past my elbows. I was really upset. I had to go into the bathroom and put it under the dryer. Luckily, it survived. Now I wear it just about everywhere, around the house, out shopping, at work. Sometimes I see Cher in magazines and think I like that top or dress, and a few months later, it comes into the shop. If she's worn the item on a CD cover or something, I don't usually buy it, because then it becomes a collector's items and can be very expensive. Although my husband doesn't share my passion, he was delighted when I bought him Cary Grant's silver cigarette case for his 40th birthday. It's a real talking point at parties because my husband is called Lou, and everybody asks, why does it say Cary? When he tells them, they are amazed. It's wonderful to have a part of someone that you admire, that you can actually hold, look at, enjoy, and wear. At the moment, I've got an eye on a very special costume from my all-the-time favorite TV program. It's not the sort of thing you can wear to shops, but it would certainly attract attention at a fancy dress party. Now, let's read the sentences, including the extra one, and to try where they fit best in the text. If it was something I really liked, though, I would buy it, no matter how much it cost. I got my paint on it and all sorts of other stains, but it broke my heart when I finally had to throw it away. It's in a cloth bag, and she has the actor's name inscribed on the front. However, I like to enjoy my clothes, and I always wear Cher's things until they're worn out. It's Dr. McCoy's original tunic from the Star Trek series. I once wore it to a TV interview and got caught in a storm. They don't go with any of my other clothes, but they still look good on me. This is one, though, is a lot looser and fits me perfectly. And the last one, I'm not sure how she'd react if she saw me in one of her old sweaters or skirts. Now, before we confirm the right answers, I would like to give you some reading part about the gapped texts. In order to be correct and to find the right sentences, please bear in mind the following advice. When you deal with a gap text, there are sometimes questions before the gaps. If this is the case, then look at the sentences that have been removed and see which of them best answers the question. Pay attention to the pronouns it and they, which are in the text, in the missing sentences, and any other kind of pronoun. In each case, they refer to something different. When you make your choice, please make sure that the whole sentence fits in with the meaning of the text before and after the space. And lastly, look for contrasting ideas between the information in the text and the removed sentences. Words such as but, whereas, nevertheless, although, etc. could be a very important clue that connects a part of the text. Now, let's confirm the answers together. The first one is D. The second gap should be completed with sentence A. The third one with B. The fourth, C. The fifth, H. Number 6 is E. The seventh is F. And the sentence that is not used is D. Let's proceed with while reading exercises. During the text, you have names of the stars and their possession. Do you remember their names and what they possessed? For example, Cher used to have shoes, jewelry, furniture, and some other things. Can you remember the other names of the stars and their possessions? Now, here are the answers in case you're not sure or did not remember. So Cher used to possess, apart from shoes, jewelry, furniture, she had white t-shirt, black shirt, also mentioned as top or dress in the text. Mel Gibson used to have a denim shirt, Cary Grant, the silver cigarette case, and Dr. McCoy used to have his tunic. The next exercise. In each of the sentences below, complete the phrases to form a phrase that has the same meaning as the word in brackets. Each of the phrases is in the text. So, the number of the gaps represents the number of the words you're supposed to use. I'm going to dress Batman for Jackie's fancy party, and it should mean put on clothes to look like her. My jeans were so old they eventually fell, and it should mean broke up into different parts. I've got a beautiful cottage that I saw for sale recently. It should mean I'm interested in having. And the last one, it broke when I finally had to throw away my old jumper, and it should mean made me sad. Have you got an idea of how you are supposed to complete the gaps? Did you find the word? You can confirm them in the answers now. You dress up as means you put on clothes to look like someone. If something falls to pieces, it breaks up into different parts, then I've got my eye on something, and if you have your eye on something, means you're interested in having something. And the last one, it broke my heart, which in this case is, it made me sad. This was all we had prepared for you today. Thank you all for your attention.